Just joining me now is Governor Mike Huckabee. Nice to meet you, sir.
It's a pleasure to see you.
This, of course, is 4 years ago. This was an entirely different place for you.
It was a wonderful place for me to be 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun to come back, and certainly in a little different capacity. But, you know, I still think that there is a certain level of magic with the Iowa straw poll because it is a real opportunity for candidates to show the intensity of the support of their voters. And this is unlike any other political event in the entire country. People have to pay to get here, and then none of them do because the candidates pay for their tickets. But then you still have to convince those people to hang around long enough to vote for you and stand with you.
Absolutely, and we actually heard today, which I've already mentioned on the air today, that some people actually did turn up at the gate today and paid to get in.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it?
You know, because all they had to do was to say to any of the campaigns, hey, would you give me a ticket? And they would have been able to get in. So
Absolutely.
It's, you know, it's almost like paying for the show that really is free for everybody else.
Now, obviously, you were here 4 years ago. They tell me there were 14,000. This seems much bigger than that. What do you think, sir?
It seems larger than last year. I don't know. I'm anxious to get the totals. It's become a bigger and bigger event, I think, each time. That's a good thing. A lot of candidates, a lot of viable candidates, good people running. And I think the people of Iowa are truly remarkable in their political interest and intensity. And that's good for the country. You know, a lot of people outside of Iowa sometimes resent the role that Iowa plays.
Yes.
I personally appreciate it.
Yes.
Because I think that the people of Iowa are doing America a big favor. They serve as a filter.
Yes,
and they find out what these candidates are about. They ask tougher questions than the national media will ever ask.
That's right. And one of the things we do on my show is we never accept political answers, which my audience seems to love. I'm assuming you're much more relaxed this time than you were 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
So no regrets on your decision not to jump in. Huh?
No, I don't regret. You know, if you think you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you don't go around regretting that. And I don't regret it. I regret disappointing some of the folks who wanted me to run. I regret that, you know, there were people who really thought that I should. But I know the decision that I made was the right one for this year. Absolutely.
Did you, when you walked in through the gates this morning, did you just even for a fleeting moment think, oh, it would be so nice to be taking part today?
Oh, you know, there's every now and then that feeling of maybe sort of to channel Marlon Brando, I could have been a contender. But on the other hand, we have good candidates, and I'm very pleased to watch them and watch them work hard and to make the case for their voters.
Okay, and you're aware that obviously, I'm sure you're aware that Governor Perry has jumped in to the race now. Is that something that pleases you? Do you think he's going to add to this debate, or is he going to detract from it?
Well, I think he will add to the overall debate, create a little more interest in it. But I do think he'll have some tough explaining to do to the people of Iowa as to why he picked the day of the straw poll to be 1,200 miles away and make his announcement. Because this is the center of the political universe today. And the people of Iowa, I think, have an expectation that serious candidates will show up in their state on this day. And for him to say, no, I'm not going to be there, I'm going to be in South Carolina, I'm going to try to steal some of the thunder from the Iowa straw poll, that won't, I can not say it won't. It hasn't set well, because I've talked to people all over these fairgrounds, and they're not happy about that.
No, I would agree with you that we're certainly picking up some of that ourselves. And I've got one final thing before I let you go. The one who hasn't announced yet, but was in fact in Iowa yesterday, is of course Sarah Palin. She is going to be here over Labor Day weekend. Do you think she is? And do you think how significant will that be when she does?
You know, I have a tough time reading what she's going to do. But if she gets in, obviously, it changes the pace of the election. But this is still an open process, and I hope that whoever gets in, they still understand that the first mile of the presidential marathon is Iowa.
There you go. Governor Mike Huckabee, thank you so much for stopping by.
Great to be here.
Absolute pleasure to meet you, sir.